Shahrukh, thank you for joining me on Talking Heads. Now, the first question what I want to ask you is that you seem to have got into a habit of winning awards. Do you think it's a bad habit because once you don't get them, does an actor feel bad about it?
If you ask me, am I going to feel bad if I don't get them? Yes, I will feel awful if I don't get them because I do consider awards on two fronts. One, I like them personally because I just love awards. Secondly, I do like to believe that they are recognition of my work over a period of time, so to say 1 year. And it's not just for one film, it's for like the couple of or three films that I've done that year. Habit-wise, it's just that yes, I will feel very bad, and I do try that every year. I try to work harder, I try to work more, I try to work better, I try to do better films, so that I'm always in the running. Hopefully, this will continue because I still haven't given off this yearning, this desire to excel in the field that I'm in, and hopefully I'll continue to do it. But if I don't get it, yes, I'll feel very sad.
But the three Best Actor awards which you have got for Dilwale, for Dil To Pagal Hai, and for Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, do you think that you've become a victim of a system which you wanted to fight? I mean, you got slotted as the good boy next door.
No, not really, because like I said, I believe that these awards are for the 1 year of popular performance that I've given. It's not just for one film. I like to believe that, and I think I am quite close to the truth when I say that, because it would be stupid of me and pompous of me to think that the other actors who are nominated with me, that their performances I need less, or it would be stupid of me to think that this is the greatest performance I've done. I just think that it so happens that for the last 3 years, I happen to be in films which are popular, which gave me scope to do a popular performance, which was liked by a lot of people, whether it's like, it's a good boy or a nice boy. And also, over that period of 1 year, when I've done 3-4 films, people have liked me and made me a popular star. So, people do vote for something. Okay, this is popular. I don't know how much it goes just for my great performance or just on the basis of how well I have performed in a film. And also there is a difference between role and the characters we play.
But that means there is an inherent conflict between acting and stardom. I mean, a particular kind of performance makes you a star, but it might not be...
No, there's no inherent dichotomy in stardom and acting that way, because both of them, in India at least, run hand in hand. I mean, there's no question of thinking that... again, you'll be like being very unrealistic to think that stardom and my acting caliber, I can separate the two. I guess there comes a time in every actor's life or every star's life that you can't really detach the other, one from the other. And I've got a Best Actor award for Bazigar too. I've got a Best Actor award for Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na too. I've got, I got the Villain award for Anjam, and Dil To Pagal Hai, Dilwale. They may fit in the mold of one genre of love stories, but then I did those because people started telling me that I can't do good guy roles. So it's very strange, like if you start telling me now, okay, God, now you've fallen into a trap of a good guy. Okay, I'll change, I'll do some bad guys again. I mean, I don't know, when I'm doing Anjam, Bazigar and everybody said, you can't do good guys. No one will accept you as a lover boy or as a romantic hero and all. So I just did those, and if I've excelled in those, I don't excel in those. It doesn't mean that I can't do the other. I've done that all. I've done this now, and maybe I'll do a mix of these two. Maybe I'll do something absolutely different.
So when you were a middle-class boy in Delhi, taking a DTC bus to school, doing your mass comm from Jamia, did you ever feel that Shah Rukh Khan would ever become the addiction adulation of millions of Indians?
I never thought that. I find it quite shocking. I mean, I find it quite surprising. I knew I could act. I knew my craft. I know a little bit of it now. Not that I make claims, I know everything about it. And I work very hard. Besides that, when I see people saying it to me, because, we are a little removed now because I just do my job and get back home. That's my life. But when I go to like a public place and then there are so many people loving me and shouting for me, it is not only surprising, it's not even something that I bargain for. It's absolutely stupendous and shocking. And I believe that if this is possible, then anything is possible in the world. I never thought that with my looks, with my way of speaking, I knew I could act, but I didn't know that I would become a big star. And now I realize, for the last 1 year, I've realized that I'm a big star, and people of all segments love me and like me. And I just want to say to everybody that apart from the fact that thank you, apart from that fact, I just want to say to everybody that it's not, I realize it's not because of me. There has to be either a power above, or it's my mother's blessings, or I'm just one of the greatest flukes on earth.
Shahrukh, Barry John, your teacher has said in a very recent interview that if he were to give marks for acting, Manoj Bajpayee would get around 7.5 out of 10. But he didn't call you an actor, he called you a gymnast. He says Shahrukh Khan was a gymnast. Was that true? Is that true still?
I don't know. What I was taught by Barry was mainly that one should use a lot of space in acting, and that is what I adhere to, and that is what something you learn. You pick and choose things from your teachers also, and I guess the one thing that I learned from Barry was that you should use space, and you should be flamboyant, and you should not be ashamed of your acting. And if Barry feels like that about me, I guess it must be true. And maybe the sheer energy, now I'm too old actually, I think, to even do gymnastics anymore. So I guess the test begins now. If I can still sustain to be just on the power of my acting be here, or I can't jump hurdles anymore. And I know my age is such that I should not be fooling people with doing what I did before. I mean, that was a youthful energy and whatever. Now I'll have to, I guess, grow as an actor and hone up my technique.
Shahrukh, do you think that you have fallen victim to the star system of Bombay? Have you fallen trapped to the system which you started off by beating it? I mean, does this position which you are in today restrict the number of roles you can do? I mean, does this stardom restrict you in the choice of roles? Do you think you're caught in a system?
No, I'd be ungrateful to everybody in Mumbai and in India who are attached to films if I say that I have been restricted in any way. I mean, I don't think I deserved all this anyways. I mean, and people who have made films have given me enough scope, enough flexibility in the roles and the films. I mean, they have welcomed me with open arms, whether it's the audience or the filmmakers. So I have nothing to really complain about. I cannot sit down and say, God, I don't like this. And I'll be honest, the day even if I'm not successful, I'll be the last person to say, God, they trapped me. And, they put me in a situation where I couldn't experiment, I couldn't grow as an actor. Nobody's restricted me. If I was to make any faults, if I was to make any mistakes, if I was to not do as well as I'm doing right now, I think it will just be because of my lack of talent up to a certain point. It would be perhaps up to, it would be, everything will be due to me, not because of anybody else. And I don't think nobody stopped me from experimenting. I'm a big enough star to call the shots. I can tell anyone make this film for me and they will. I'll say, please do an experimental film for me, they will. And if I'm not doing them, I'm to blame. There's nobody else to take the credit for the fact that, look, we told Shahrukh that, you could do this film and he didn't do it. I'm completely take the blame that I'm not doing. If people think I'm not doing good cinema, it's because I'm not doing it.
But do you feel you're not doing good cinema?
I don't think so. I'm doing popularly good cinema. I'm doing cinema which has good making and technical values. It does talk about, in some way, about goodness of life. And I'm an entertainer. I've never made claims to be somebody who's going to experiment with my roles and give you some great performances. That people have made this out to be just because I get awards. I'm here to entertain people, and I can, with full confidence, top of my voice, shout out that for the last 8 years, I have given my best to entertain people. I don't think I've made any, I've not held back on that.
So do you feel that there is a difference between an entertainer and an actor? Do you fall into the entertainers category?
I think at this point of time, I am more of an entertainer than an actor. I would be. But then I don't know if there is anybody around who can make these comparisons, these differentiations, and say, oh, this guy's an actor, that guy's an entertainer. Because our films are so mixed. Our commercial cinema, our Hindi film itself is so mixed that it's very difficult to pry each other out or differentiate and say this is black and this is white, this is grey, this is milk, this is water. You can't do that anyways. I mean, anyone who even makes an attempt or even passes a judgment or passes a remark like, oh, I'm an actor, I'm not a star, or I'm an actor, I'm not an entertainer, perhaps does not know what he or she is talking about. I think it's all entwined together. It's like really catch-22. You are doing everything together. You are being a star, you are being an actor in some films, you are being an entertainer in others. I mean, as soon as songs are in your films, you're an entertainer. Songs don't enhance, 90% of songs in Hindi films don't enhance any kind of character or are never done in character. As soon as a dance master comes on the sets who does not know what the story of the film is, your film is no longer a film which is based on character or is serious cinema or acting film. It becomes a entertainment film.
After only 7 years of acting, why have you turned producer, Shah Rukh? I mean, why this sudden need to be in control?
No, I'm not in control when I'm producing. As a matter of fact, producers are the people who are least in control. You can ask all the producers. They are the ones who are bald, who are old and graying. Actors are the ones who look healthy and nice. I just want to do it because, you know, like I've made about 25 films and I have another 5 on the floor. So that's about 30. Another 5 more next year I will be starting. So I just started feeling that, you know, there are times when I see my own film and I just turn around and I say, okay, God, this film could have been better if I'd done this. I don't make any public comments about it. I don't go into controversies about it. But I know also the limitations. Sometimes the limitations are because of my own time, my films don't look nice. Sometimes the limitation is because perhaps so much money has been spent in making the film over a period of time that you can't spend anymore. Sometimes the limitation is so much money has been paid to me as an actor that they can't spend money on production. So I decided there are certain aspects of filmmaking like good cameras and cranes and special effects and stuff, which, you know, when I even tell my producer to do it, I feel a little guilty that maybe, you know, he's going over budget and the film and sometimes those films don't do well, and I feel really bad at the end of it all, even after foregoing my remuneration at times. So I decided, look, if I am foregoing my remuneration for the betterment of a film at times, let me forego my remuneration, get people, like-minded people and friends who think like me, and tell them, you also forego your remuneration. Let's put it completely in the film and hope it does well. If it does well, we'll get our money back. If it doesn't, it's like foregoing remuneration of one film. And I got some like-minded people like Aziz Mirza, who's like a father figure to me, who launched me in Raju Ban Gaya Gentleman. Juhi Chawla was a close friend. Santosh Sevan, who's a great technician. And the rest of the team from Mr. Yash Johar's camp, which is the production team, he consented wonderfully to say, like, I'll give you, it's the best production unit in India, I think. And he said, I'll do your film. So I have a full team which has agreed to work for me, and hopefully we'll be able to, at the end of it all, see a film and say, okay, right, this is what I wanted to see on screen. And if I don't do it, who will? If I don't take chances, who will? If I don't do different kind of films, make films which I believe in, do different kind of roles, introduce new quality to cinema, then who will? At this point of time, at least. They say that I'm doing very well. I've got the least amount to lose because they say I'm at the top, so I should take a chance and do it. If I don't, who else? I mean.
Will you say that women have played a very important part in your life, you know, starting from your mother to your wife and to this number of female friends you have?
I don't know. I'm a gentleman towards every woman that I meet. I mean, that's what I like to believe. I've been brought up like that. I've been brought up like that because, I guess, of the teachings of my mother or what I thought of her, of my own sister and my wife. And most of the co-actresses that I've worked with, they've been wonderful. And somewhere along the line, I think I'm a little more considerate towards women than men. I'm not really a guy's guy, maybe. I can't sit down and talk about cars and boxing and karate and workouts and hunting and, you know, the things that guys talk about, or shooting pool or having beer. So these are things that I don't know, maybe I do all this, but I don't talk about it, and I don't get any high saying that, you know, I beat the of it or I drove 120 miles per hour tonight. I'm not really an overtly macho person, maybe. So I like talking about work, and I do find that most of the women that I've worked with are very sensitive towards work. And I also have this faith, this belief that women have it more difficult in the film industry, and they have stuck to their guns more rigidly and with more perseverance and with more conscientiousness than men do. And I have a lot of respect for, you know, I work 9 to 9 and I know how tiring it is. And you see a woman do the same thing, it's, I think, doubly or triply tiring for her, not because she's weaker, but because she has to do much more. So I have a certain amount of respect for women in my working place, at home, because my wife and sister are wonderful. And before this, in my personal life, because I think my mother was really wonderful. I don't know how important a role they have played in my life, because my mother never told me to become an actor. My wife does not like me as an actor. And the heroines that I work with, they wonder how I became a star. So I really don't know how important a role they play in my life, but...
Maybe they push you harder.
I don't think so. Nobody pushes me. I'm that much macho. I don't talk about beer and shooting pool, but I'm quite macho. Nobody pushes me.